Welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. Today our show is called Associations That Matter. Please welcome my next guest. It's Geoff Kasselman. He is president of SIOR. This is the Society of Industrial and Office Realtors. Now, Geoff is also executive managing director of the National Industrial Practice of Newmark, Grubb, Knight, and Frank. Geoff, thanks for joining us here in Studio One.
Great to be here, Michael. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate it. And tell us about SIOR. And how did it start? What is it?
It's a great question. First of all, let me just say thanks for having me here. Big fan. It's great to be here.
Thank you.
Got to get that out of the way.
Thank you.
SIOR, and you said it perfectly, better than a lot of us say it about ourselves.
I have messed it up before.
It's very good. The Society of Industrial and Office Realtors is a nonprofit association of high-performing commercial brokers and service providers. It's global in nature, and it awards a professional designation, initials that you carry after your name, and it's one of the biggest things that distinguishes us from other associations. You can join lots of associations, but you wouldn't necessarily get a credential in the process of doing that. Some you would, some you wouldn't, but SIOR you do, and so it's a career booster in that regard.
And how do you get those credentials?
We have a series of criteria that you've got to meet as an applicant: experience, productivity, endorsement of clients and peers, ethics, education. So, without getting into the weeds on each one of those items, you got to do a lot in a career over an extended period of time to be eligible to apply. And so we get this question all the time. There are some younger brokers who we desperately want to have SIOR on the radar and who have a strong interest in joining the organization, but they haven't progressed yet professionally in terms of that combination of items or accomplishments to be eligible.
So, and how did it start? What's the origin?
Started in 1940. During World War II.
You don't look that old.
No comment. Feel or look.
Right.
Started in World War II when the government came to the industrial realtors of the time and said, we need your help. We need more factory space for the war effort, for munitions, for tanks, for bombs, for what goes into the war. Please stop doing what you're doing. Come together. Serve the greater good. And at that time, it was called SIR, Society of Industrial Realtors. And that's exactly what happened. The competing realtors of the day came together and assisted the United States government with their World War II factory effort. And then something really interesting happened. The war ended, and SIR sort of went, what do we do now? And the government said, wait, I need you just as much now as I needed you before. I don't need the factory space anymore. Now I need you to get rid of it.
Right.
It's a great thing about being a broker, right?
That's right.
Help you get in, help you get out.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And so for 75 years now, SIOR has been serving the greater good of the commercial real estate world. And it really started in that way.
Tell me some of the benefits, Geoff, of becoming an SIOR.
Well, I think heads and shoulders above anything else is this professional designation that you get. It's an individual achievement. It's not a company achievement. It stays with you for your life. You take it with you wherever you go, whether you stay in real estate or whether you progress to some other aspect of the industry or even out of the industry. So it's an incredible career booster in that regard. You also get leadership development. You get access to best practices. There's a trove of deep dive resources that you may not get at your firm. Whether you work at a Newmark or a Jones Lang or a CB, and there's tons of resources at those firms. Sometimes you have to turn to your SIOR association to get some of that stuff. And of course, there's networking. And I think ultimately people will tell you there's incremental deal flow. There's incremental revenue that you make. It's not a guarantee. You get out of it. You get out of it what you put into it, like anything else in the world. But if you're not earning back what you pay to get in and what you pay to attend conferences and attend our networking functions locally and nationally, times about 100, then you're probably not putting very much into it. Okay. Those that put a little bit of effort into it really come away with incremental revenue, professional enhancement, and some of the best friendships that they've ever had in their life. And
as part of the education and the networking, you have your big world conference coming up. Tell us about that.
And it's really an exciting one. It's when I become the president officially, so it's big for me personally, but for the society, it's big in that it's been years and years and years since we've had it in New York City. So it's a return to New York City to celebrate our 75th anniversary. And so in that respect, it's a big blowout. We're doing things a little bit differently. We're doing more main stage programming than we've ever done before, and we're bringing in every industry icon that we can get to say yes. And at this point, I can't even name all. There's dozens and dozens and dozens of them.
Give us a couple names. Give us.
Well, our keynote speakers, which are not industry icons, they're bigger than that. They're keynote speakers, right? Rudy Giuliani.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Brokaw.
Nice.
Very excited about those two in particular.
Yeah.
Some of our keynote speakers would include the CEOs of Jones Lang LaSalle, CBRE, Newmark, Cushman & Wakefield, Colliers, the CEO of all the big real estate tech companies right now. So CoStar, Hightower, some of the most accomplished industry icons, the Bruce Moslers and the Steven Siegels and it's incredible.
Cool.
Barry Gossin from Newmark, right? It's incredible who's coming out for this
conference. And when
is
this? October?
It's October 20th to the 22nd in Times Square. We're going to have a big blowout party Thursday night. We're way ahead of where we've ever been at this point in time for one of our fall world conferences in registration. And so we actually had a number of phone calls yesterday, spent a good chunk of my day figuring out what our backup hotel room strategy was and what the maximum room count was before we ran into the fire marshal. We're very concerned about, we're excited.
Yeah, that's a good problem.
And concerned at the same time that this
Yes.
could honestly be the biggest conference that SIOR's ever had.
And what a great time to be in New York in late October. So tell us, before you have to go, what is the main resource or benefit for someone to become a member or for a member to take advantage of?
Career enhancement, professional progression, having that designation really having those letters on your business card after your name means a lot to the corporate real estate decision makers of the world, to the developers and investors of the world. To them it means you've been vetted, it means you're accomplished, it means you're ethical, it means you're a value creator for them. It's a match made in heaven in theory for those.
Well, that's great. Well, Jeff, thanks for joining us here in Studio One.
My pleasure. It's great to be here.
And if you'd like more information, visit SIOR.com. And yes, I said it correctly. And stay tuned. We'll have more on Associations That Matter. I'm Michael Bull, and this is the Commercial Real Estate Show. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Bull Realty, Asset and Occupancy Solutions. Xceligent, building data everywhere. Valuate, easily share what-if analysis with colleagues online. And First Service Solutions, your CMBS borrower advocate. For more information on how these businesses may be of service to you, visit CREshow.com.